Finance and Business. Contact us at Lot 2 Henry Street, Work in Rust, Georgetown. Call 231-7227-625-7226. Register today.
My fellow Guyanese, just stop what you're doing and listen to this. What is GrasPmatyx?
To understand maths much better.
Yes.
From a better point of view in the simplest form.
Get a proper understanding of what maths is about.
Yes.
Greetings. My names are Samuel Gaspar. Thank you, Dr. Yates, for having GrasPmatyx on TV.
Tnestelin, Al Shalamti, Hotel. Gentlemen, precious ladies and learning students, welcome to a presentation called GrasPmatyx, the personality and character of numbers. As you notice here on your screen, the numbers are being written bottom to top, 0 to 9. These are called numbers or rule of measurement, or integers or basic numbers. Remember, starting number is 0, and the highest number according to yours truly, Dr. Yates, would be 9. 9 is the highest number. I didn't ask for numbers. A lot of people get confused when I ask the question, what is the highest number? And they would say, infinity, goo-goo, numbers never stop, numbers goes on and on. There's no highest number. They tell me many different things. But in this program, you'll learn perceptually, also based on reasoning, which is logically, the 9 is the highest number. So you watch here, or listen, I should say, listen. Listen to how Dr. Yates explained that numbers do have personality and character. The starting number, 0, the highest is 9. If you notice there on the screen, on the left side of the screen, the word personality. And on the right side of the screen, numbers. Okay? So stay with us. Much more is coming forward as you learn about the personality and character of numbers.
My names are Jada Alia Renita Overton. I attend Central High School. Thank you, Dr. Yates, for teaching GrasPmatyx. Thank you, Dr. Yates, for having GrasPmatyx on TV.
One 9, they call 19 times 9, 9. They call 99. Like I said, all you have to do is add the 2 9s, you get 18. And then you multiply 9 times 9 and you get what? 81.
Greetings. My names are Akila Lois. I attend St. Margaret's Primary School. Thank you, Dr. Yates, for having GrasPmatyx on TV. Greetings. My names are Samuel Gaspar. I'm in grade 1. Thank enjoy reading. I attend North George Young Primary School. Thank you, Dr. Yates, for having GrasPmatyx on TV.
Now, the GrasPmatyx way, we square the 2 5. And we do it this way. 5 5s are 2 5. The next larger number to 2 is 3. 2 3s is 6. Direct, fast. That is GrasPmatyx.
Greetings, my names are Brianna Lashana Amanda Dick. I attend Central High School. Thank you, Dr. Yates, for teaching GrasPmatyx on TV.
That was good. Tenestalin, Al Shalamti, Hemotep. Greetings, teachers, students, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, friends, all adults who are watching this program, including folks from the Caribbean, especially the United States, Virgin Islands. Yours truly, Dr. Yates, is saying unto you, Tenestalin, from Ethiopia. Presently, I'm recording, I'm doing my studies, furthering my studies. Also, I'm doing my presentations to the folks here in Ethiopia. So I want to say thanks to the people of the Virgin Islands, of Antigua, Barbados, Dominica, St. Kitts, Nevis, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, these several islands, especially Antigua. If I did mention Antigua, I think I did. I want to say thanks to all of you for supporting my math program in the Caribbean, especially the wonderful Caribbean people in New York, which is my home state of residency. During the Labor Day in Brooklyn and New York, when they have the festival, folks will come by and they'll patronize Dr. Yates as he does a presentation of GrasPmatyx. Thank you so much. On this day program, we'll get a chance to learn fractions and decimals. What are we going to be learning? Fractions and decimals on this day. And a lot of students are having problem comprehending fractions and decimals. Well, you're not alone. When I was your age, I didn't know it. K-N-O-W, Know. Remember Dr. Yates? K is never silent in any word. For all the African languages that I have studied, and the ones I have not studied, I'm quite sure that the K is never silent. It's only in the English language there's such a thing as a K being silent. Do you know of a K being silent in Spanish? You write and tell me if there's silent a K in Spanish or in French or any other language. However, for those folks who can now me for doing that presentation in New York, also in several other states, including Canada, England, and here in Ethiopia, of course, I want to say thank you for supporting Dr. Yates. Coming up, fractions and decimals. When I was a student in school, I didn't comprehend fractions and decimals. They didn't explain it to me properly. Now, you students, if you're having problems comprehending it, it's not your fault. Trust me, it's not your fault. A lot of times it has to do with the teacher, how the teacher try to get it across. And sometimes it's kind of tough on the teachers because some teachers have 2, 0, 3, 4, 5, 6 students in the classroom. Oh, it's hard to control all those students and try to teach them. He or she spends maybe about 1, 5 to 2, 0 minutes trying to tell the students to be quiet and settle down before they can be taught. I'm talking especially in American schools. Maybe your school is not like that. However, if you're having difficulty comprehending fractions and decimal on this day's program, you'll get a chance to see how yours truly, GrasPmatyx Dr. Yates, presents it the simple and easy, most of all, the fun way. All right? For example, if you're looking on your television screen or your monitor screen, whatever you're watching this program, or TV screen, because GrasPmatyx is a television program in several countries, especially Guyana, which is the only official English-speaking country in the continent called South America. Most people can know it as Latin America. I have no idea why they call it Latin America, and Latin is not spoken in that continent. That's why Dr. Yates says South America. Well, the people in Guyana, I want to say thank you so much for supporting yours truly, Dr. Yates. And you can always email me. Yep, there's my email address right there at the bottom of the screen. There it is. Email Dr. Yates. Let me know what you're learning. And for those teachers and principals, etc., and Department of Education and folks in many countries, you want Dr. Yates to come in as a guest speaker, like I say, a motivating math guest speaker, to not only work with students, but I like working with teachers. I like to do workshops for teachers. So to give them the technique how to communicate better with the students and how to present math the simple, easy, and fun way. Especially those teachers who are sick and tired of being sick and tired of the system, kind of restricting them from teaching the way they really want to teach, and those principals who really want to help their children learn, but disfortunately, they're only taught one way and it's not working. So I'm encouraging you to invest in my approach to math. Get Dr. Yates down there, whatever country, state, or island. Just email me and I'll be more than happy to respond to email, let you know how I can come down and do workshop maybe for a month, 2 months, 3 months. It depends. All right, great. So on the board, you notice we have here fractions and decimals. The interesting thing about fractions and decimals is that once you learn it, then you wouldn't have any problem finding the half. Remember the English word H-A-L-F, half? In Grass-ish, one of the languages which we teach as math English is called Grass-ish. We say half, because it's spelled H-A-L-F. Take away the H, what you got? Alf. And to put back the H, what you have? Half. So you pronounce phonetically half. The half, okay, in Ethiopia the word is gamash. In Amharic, or the language most people know it as Amharic, they say gamash. So when you learn fractions and decimals, then you wouldn't have problem finding the half to odd numbers. Like most students and even adults do have problem finding the half to odd numbers. A lot of adults tell me the half of 1 and there's no half to 1 because it's an odd number. Yeah, that's what they say. It's not their fault. Now, I'm not blaming anybody, but I'm just pointing out that even adults have problems finding the half to odd numbers. And also, even a lot of students, they say there's no half to 1. Some of them say the half to 1 is 0. Some of them say there's no half to 1, because 1 is the starting number. That's what they say. So in this program, you'll learn that you can find a half to 1. As a matter of fact, you can even find a half to 0. Even 0 has half. Only in this program, perhaps you'll learn that. And I'm so glad you're watching. I'm so glad you're emailing folks and calling folks on the phone, texting folks and telling them about the GrasPmatyx website. And about yours truly, Dr. Yates, this guy who is bringing math the fun and easy way. I'm doing this, folks, because I used to be a math phobiac. I first went to the British school system and then the American school system, and they both made it difficult for me. I failed in the school system, British and American school system. And that has to do with the way it was taught to me, because the math that I was taught by the British and the Americans, it's called conventional math. Look at that the three-letter word there, C-O-N, conventional math. And yours truly, that is defined the word con as against, or to trick, to fool, to falsify. Okay? So they give me the conventional math, all right? And that's why I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it at all. I was a math phobiac. I feared and failed it in the school system. That's the reason why I do this with a passion after getting out of school and going to college, etc. Then I realized that, listen, you gotta really make this math work. And so I came up with this creation after looking at other cultures, especially the Chinese and the Dogon people mathematical system, and the Kemet, they call Egypt mathematical system, and the Mayan people, the Aztecs. Yeah, several cultures do math totally different than the Europeans. And that is the reason why I'm so happy that I can present this creation called GrasPmatyx for everyone. So folks, we're going to go into fractions today, and you are going to learn the fractions being equated to decimals, and also how to find a half of numbers in fractions, the easy and simple way. Before I go, I want you to tell me here on the board, what would be the half of 1? Give me the answer in fraction and give me the answer in decimal. Also the half of half, or the half of half. What would be the half of half? What is the half of quarter? Okay, and what is the half? Yes, so the half of 1, what is the half of 1? What is the half of half? What is the half of quarter? All right, now there's a fraction here also written on the board, and it says 1/8. What is the half of 1/8? All right, you write and tell me what it is, and I'll come forward and show you in the coming episode, part 2 of this, how you find a half of these fractions and decimals the easy and fun way. Yours truly, Dr. Yates, saying unto you, thank you for lending a listening ear and for viewing GrasPmatyx Dr. Yates with his presentation of the easy and fun way of learning fractions and decimal. Watch my timetables. Go on view GrasPmatyx, the 5-1 times table, the 9-1 times table, and the 1-5-1 times table. You kidding, Dr. Yates? No, I'm not. I'm not kidding. Kid is a baby goat, and I'm not goating up in here. Dr. Yates said to you, Tenestele, Shalamti Al.
Class, right, can we settle down? Rose, turn around, please. We've got a lot to get through today. Okay, so carrying on from our lesson last week, we were looking at the key divisions in the early stages of the civil rights movement and the general impact across the board. Sam, come on. Sit up straight. Right, stop slouching. This is the perfect opportunity for you to engage, so make the most of it.
Well, we learn the same stuff every year for Black History Month. Every single October, we learn the same things, either apartheid, slavery, or the civil rights. How many of you guys have actually learned something new these last years? See? That's what I mean.
Sam, this is our history. Come on, man.
No, seriously. Do you guys know anything about Ralph Bunche, the first black person to win a Nobel Prize? Or that the richest person ever lived was a black man named King Musa I of Mali? What about Ella Baker? What about Ella Baker? One of the most influential women of the civil rights movement. This is why I can't take Black History Month seriously, man.
But Samuel, the curriculum is designed to help you think about Black history critically.
Actually, miss, it's designed to teach us what to think, not how to think. For example, when that light switched, you taught us it was Thomas Edison who made that happen, when ironically it was actually a darker man who made that light flick, Lewis Latimer to be precise. Quite nice when you're talking about Mr. Hamilton and his racing car, but red lights stop. We're always taught that Martin Luther King had a dream, man. But those dreams can't be achieved because our brains are in chains, our minds are enslaved, so we won't get our redemption. Morgan, free man. Will we ever be free, man? And leave this state of imprisonment? And take that walk of free, damn it, green man from a traffic light invented by the same man who made gas masks to protect our organs. Another free man named Garrett Morgan. But I bet you never knew that. We need to open our minds. But how can we be taught to see if the blind lead the blind? The first person to develop significant eye surgery was a black woman named Dr. Patricia E. Barth. Now on that note, there's a question I must ask. If this is a great opportunity to learn and be engaged about our past, why are we not actually being taught about our past? Transatlantic slavery, where we're taught Black history starts, but is it really? There seems to be a lot you haven't told us. And you shut down and hold back on the bold ones who stand against the way you're trying to mold us. Consistent enemies of progress. You're surprised because I know things you don't expect me to know yet. And when I tell you you're wrong for telling me about me, you call it a riot while I call it a protest. The Broadwater Farm riots. The media exacerbate and make it seem like it's a bunch of delinquent youths on the streets, when really the first cause and trigger was death at the hands of the police. We cease to know information and the truth. And that's simply because you withhold information from the youth. Maybe one day we'll be satisfied with how our knowledge of history equates. Well, I'm sure like me, you're waiting for the teacher to fill in that space. So do so then. No answer. Well, maybe I can help and just throw out there some names. Mary Seacole, a Crimean war nurse. Mary Prince, a black female author. To be precise, she was the first. Bernie Grant, influential local activist and respected MP. Trevor McDonald, one of the first black ITN journalists to hit the TV screen. Jamal Edwards and SBTV. And when Fuse ODG brought the Azonto dance to the UK, and my foot swayed to the left and to the right like the wipers of a car's windscreen, and DJ Abrante brought Afro beats to the streets. See, it's funny when we think of our childhood memories. A man who was actually funny, Lenny Henry. Many others, and the list continues. Marcus Garvey, Haile Selassie, Bob Marley, Ignatius Sancho, Tupac, Fela Kuti, Muhammad Ali, Maya Angelou, R.I.P., Kwame Nkrumah, the first Ghanaian president who retained independence from England, the Windrush ship which brought Caribbeans to Britain. So much to learn in just 1 month. A tip of the iceberg, a tiny grace. And what was the first black Roman emperor's name? Years passed and we're still caught up in the same civil rights age, which isn't bad if you learn something new, but we don't. And we're not being taught enough about our culture, so there's no one else to blame but you. And if not you, then who? Questions, questions, questions. If you're not teaching us these things, then I'm inclined to believe it's because you don't know. No. You're the teacher. Your job is to teach, so you must know. And if you do, that must mean you don't want us to know, but that's low. If the information is accessible for our knowledge of our culture to grow, then why on earth wouldn't you want to let us know? Why are you focused so heavily on the influential but very few men and women who made things happen for us? Why are my people being highlighted for a predominantly negative past? Why do I know the things that you don't and I'm not the teacher, you are? Why are you focused on our negative past but not on our bright future? Why are you not abreast with the great young things that people are doing in this world? Why are young people's trademarks and stereotypes gang culture and young pregnant girls? Why are the young people not being given the time of day? And his name was Septimus Severus, by the way. I'm sure as a student, the code of conduct has been breached. So I'll stop here and let you do your job. So teach.
Said a lot about the role of the media in a so-called democracy. I'm wondering how you see the role of our educational system, what it's doing right now, what forces are driving it, and what constraints are on it, and how should it operate?
Well, I quoted the Trilateral Commission view of the educational system, namely it's a system of indoctrination of the young, namely it's a system of indoctrination of the young, namely it's a system of indoctrination of the young. And I think that's correct. It's a system of indoctrination of the young. That was the way the liberal elites regard it, and they're more or less accurate. So the educational system is supposed to train people to be obedient, conformist, not think too much, do what you're told, stay passive, don't cause any crises of democracy, don't raise any questions, and so on. That's basically what the system is about. Namely, it's a system of indoctrination of the young. Even the fact that the system has a lot of stupidity in it, I think, has a function. You know, it means that people are filtered out for obedience. If you can guarantee lots of stupidity in the educational system, you know, like stupid assignments and things like that, you know that the only people who make it through are people like me and like most of you, I guess, who are willing to do it no matter how stupid it is, because we want to go to the next step, you know. So you may know that this assignment is idiotic and the guy up there couldn't think his way out of a paper bag, but you'll do it anyway because that's the way you get to the next class. And you want to make it, and so on and so forth. Well, there are people who don't do that, you know. There are people who say, I'm not going to do it, it's too ridiculous, you know. Those people are called behavioral problems, or something like that. They end up in the principal's office or in the streets or selling drugs or whatever. And all of this is a technique for selection for obedience. And I don't know how to prove this, but I have a feeling that when you go to the elite universities, you find more obedience and conformity. Probably because you're getting the students who were better able to do it, you know. Well, all of that is functional. That's the way it works. And it works right through graduate school.
Shalemti, Tenastalin, greetings. Vigilant men, virtuous women, and learning students. This is the kind voice of Dr. Yates, the inventor of GrasPmatyx. Now, all Guyanese can watch GrasPmatyx on this TV station through your donation or business sponsorship. Call now, 693-3388. 693-3388. Shalemti Al. Shalom.
Are you now preparing for CXC? Do you want to obtain good grades at CXC? How important to you is a good result at CXC? Gemsville Academy is offering daytime and evening classes with focus on the following subject areas: English language, mathematics, information technology, science, and business. Contact us at Lot 2 Henry Street, Work in Rust, Georgetown. Call 231-7227-625-7226. Register today.
This evening, 6 police dismissed for misconduct. Brigadier George Lewis issues stern warning to ranks engaged in deviant behavior. Ministry of Natural Resources has a fix-it plan to protect wealth. Grumblings at City Hall as staff faces late payments of salary once again. In the region, a young Haitian businessman continues to press on after the devastation of Hurricane Matthew. And internationally, Hillary Clinton blasts the FBI for reopening an inquiry into her email misuse.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rivell Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.